Welcome to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. This podcast is dedicated to EAS employees of the U.S. Postal Service and members of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. So, pour yourself a cup of coffee and join us for today's episode. And now, here's your host, Robert Wakefield.
Good morning, Branch 32, and good morning, Neft family, wherever you are listening from. We are so glad that you are here on the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast presented by the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. It's great to have you here. I'm Robert Wakefield. I am the president of Branch 32. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, got a great show lined up for you, so let's go ahead and let's pour that first cup. Some places call you a customer. We call you family. At the Nashville Post Office Credit Union, membership means belonging. Belonging to a community that supports you, celebrates you, and works for your financial success. If you're a postal employee or family member, you're already eligible to join. Step into a credit union with deep roots and a big heart. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union, people helping people since 1925. And for our first cup this morning, I am very, very excited to have two members of Branch 32 who actually went as first-timers to the Legislative Training Seminar in March 15th of this year. And we're so excited to have these two on. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Antoinette Lewis and Bradley Neft. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. So are you really excited about being on the podcast, Bradley?
I finally made it on. Probably, let me guess, first engineer?
You're the first engineer that has ever been on this program.
All right.
All right. And Antoinette, how about you? Are you doing good today?
Yes, I'm extremely excited to be a part of this auspicious event.
Well, that's a word I don't know the meaning of, but thank you for sharing that with everyone. That's awesome. All right. Well, you two were first-timers to ever go to LTS. So I'll start with you, Antoinette. What was one of the biggest surprises that you saw at the Legislative Training Seminar?
At the Legislative Training Seminar, it wasn't really a surprise. I was just in awe of how everyone is able to come together, discuss what their issues are in a civil manner, and that we were actually able to, and the people were actually able to get answers to a lot of their issues.
Right. Yeah, that's right. The thing about the Legislative Training Seminar was the town hall meeting. I thought that was pretty good. What did you think about the town hall meeting, Bradley?
It was cool just to hear other people's issues and actually hear responses to it.
Right. Yeah, and hear answers and hear that we're all in the same boat, it seems like. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So your biggest surprise, Bradley, of the training was what? What was your biggest surprise?
Actually, the biggest surprise that I wasn't expecting was the speakers that they had at the training. I had no idea that the PMG was there. Mm-hmm. They had senators, and you had the one board member there.
Oh, yeah. You had some of those. We had all kinds of different people.
And it was just really cool just to hear different perspectives. Right.
Antoinette, your biggest surprise?
As we discussed, when we went to the representatives' building, how everyone had different paraphernalia outside of their office that kind of screamed what their views were.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
that would, I guess that would take you by surprise when you think about when you go through the halls of the representatives buildings. It's real cool to see the state flag that they represent and the American flag, but then you see where they stand on certain issues. Bradley, did that surprise you as well?
Yeah, that was another thing I wasn't expecting.
Right. Just shows you that this country is truly divided, and it's tough to see that stuff sometimes. But hey, it's just the way it is up there in Washington D.C. right now. That's the climate. Speaking of climate,
in a sense, I really appreciated it because it let me know where that person stands.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather know where you stand than to, the phoniness of it. Oh, I'm for everybody, and oh, I believe in, rainbows and unicorns, and everything is beautiful. No, this person says exactly how they feel about whatever it is. So
Mm-hmm.
I know how to come to you and how to treat you or what to expect from you, because you've already said that you don't like green. You
Right.
don't like green.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I know that you don't like green.
So if you don't like green, you've got it written all over your building. Not to talk about green.
Right.
That's
I
a
know
great
not
comment.
to talk about green, and I
Right.
know where you stand on green.
Got it.
It's funny you picked that since we were up on St. Patrick's Day, the day we were up on the Capitol.
That's true. We were up there on St. Patrick's.
Right.
And it was cold that day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cold as polar bear paws.
It was cold, but it didn't feel as cold as the weather app said it was. Maybe it's just because I grew up north.
Oh, okay.
It didn't feel. It felt the worst part was standing in line to get into the house office building.
Right. It was that was really, really cold. But let me ask you guys this question here, because that brings up one thing. We went to see the senators of Tennessee on Tennessee Tuesday. How did you enjoy meeting the senators? We'll start with you, Antoinette.
Can you repeat that?
What did you think about going to Tennessee Tuesday and meeting the two senators from Tennessee? That's where
it was.
Yeah, that's where they had the biscuits.
It was very political. It was what you would expect from a politician. They came out. They shook our hands and took pictures, kind of gave you an overview of where they stand on, what they're working on, and then it was like, okay, have a good day.
Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead, Bradley.
Don't forget the 1 minute each speech. But yeah, that was about.
Oh, yeah.
That was about it.
Exactly. They got up and talked to everybody. And it was a group of us there. I mean, it was not only NAPS and UPMA, but there was other interests of Tennessee that was there for Tennessee Tuesday. So they just talked to everybody, and just, if we had babies, they probably would have kissed our babies.
Yes, it was a very political event.
Right. But Bradley, you enjoyed the biscuits and the bacon.
Yeah, there was some good bacon.
That's so good. So we went there first. That was our first stop, was to go to Tennessee Tuesday and meet the senators, and then us four with Kevin and you and myself and Antoinette and Bradley. We all went to our representative's office and talk about a little bit what your feelings were when you actually were sitting in the office talking about postal issues. Bradley, you can start this one.
Well, I'll start with the issue because it was really cool to be able to talk about the MSPB rights, and that is something that affects me.
Oh yeah.
So that in itself was just really cool to be able to talk about.
Right, and we've been trying to get MSPB rights for certain people in the Postal Service for several years now. So yeah, so that really hit home with you. What about you, Antoinette? What did you enjoy about being in the representative's office and what we talked about?
Well, it was very obvious to me that the postal issues were not at the front of their agenda, because he did not seem as if he had heard any of this before. So it was us enlightening him on issues that were important to the Postal Service. And that was his representative. Now, I'm not sure if Mr. Ogles, he may have been aware of it, but the representative that he sent, he did not seem aware until we started speaking about it, about the issues that the Postal Service is facing.
Exactly.
But he did appear as if he did write it down, and he was going over everything. So he's very thorough as far as that. And it seems as if this would be something that he would put to the push a little further up into their agenda.
Sure. And that's a great point, Antoinette, that we go up there and we very rarely get to speak to our representative one-on-one. But we speak to their aides, and they're all 20-something-year-olds, and they do a great job up there. But a lot of them don't know what a stamp is. They've never mailed a letter in their life. And so you're right. We have to go up there and give them an education on what the Postal Service and what our issues are.
Yeah. And also when we were at the Senate, those faces were so young. I was like, oh my God, I have shoes that are older than you.
Shoes that are older than you. That's right. Oh, that is so good. So let's wind this down just a little bit. And I want to know, because I always enjoy this. Branch 32, we take great pride in sending first-timers to the legislative training seminar because we want everyone to experience that. So, Antoinette, what was your biggest takeaway from the weekend that we spent in Washington? What's the best thing you took away?
My biggest takeaway is that NAPS really does care about the issues and bring them to the administration.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just talk. We went and we actually educated them and brought our issues to the administration, letting them know how we felt about and what we needed in order to have a successful postal service.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great, Antoinette. Bradley, what was your biggest takeaway?
Like I said, my biggest was just being able to actually go up, talking about the issues, and also, like I said, just hearing all the speakers and just hearing just the problems that that we're facing.
Right. Let me ask you both this last question. Did you enjoy seeing people across the country that was there at LTS? Were you surprised how many people were there? Antoinette?
Well, I've been to a NAPS convention, so I know, I saw people that I've seen at the NAPS convention,
Mm-hmm.
so I was kind of, it wasn't anything new to me to know that we have people from all over.
Right. What about you, Bradley?
For me, like I said, I haven't been to the NAPS convention yet. Keyword in that sentence being yet.
Right.
But so it was somewhat, what was it, 300, 400?
I'm guessing it was almost closer to 500. There's usually about 500 that come from around the country.
Yeah.
So
it was a lot. It was cool to see that.
Well, listen, I am so glad that you two got to experience the legislative training seminar and as first-timers. And I always enjoy getting first-timers' perspective on the podcast because I think it's just a neat thing for you guys to share what you went through. As a matter of fact, you're going to be sharing at our next branch meeting your experiences at LTS. So thank you both for being on the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on, and I really appreciate being able to have that experience and go to the LSA with you.
All right. And Bradley, what else? You got anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on today.
All right. Well, listen, thank you both for being on today. And that is a great, great memory that we all have together going to LTS. Thank y'all so much. Okay.
You're welcome. And Did you learn a lot about me and Bradley?
Yes, and that will be a whole podcast of what I... No, because... Yes, that will be a whole podcast on what I learned about Antoinette and Bradley over the weekend. Thank y'all so much for being on, okay?
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
When your money is handled with care, life just runs smoother. At the Nashville Post Office Credit Union, we've spent over a century helping members save smarter, borrow easier, and plan with confidence. From checking and savings to great loan rates and mobile banking, we make everyday finances feel a little lighter. Join a credit union that knows your name and understands your world. The Nashville Post Office Credit Union, people helping people since 1925. So for our second cup today, I thought it'd be fun to look at some of the obscure holidays that are coming up this week. That's the 4th through the 10th of April. And so I was going just looking through some of these, and some of them are just absolutely hilarious. I don't know why we need a separate day for these, but okay, so be it. The first one today, April the 4th, is National Walk Around Things Day. It's a day that's literally and figuratively you avoid obstacles. Yes, I think that's a great, great holiday. Let's all celebrate together, shall we? That is today. It's also a Jeep 4x4 day today. If you want to get out in your Jeep 4x4 and go out there and do some serious riding. Let's see, what was the one that jumped off the page at me? Oh, it was April 7th is National Beer Day. That's right. It commemorates the end of prohibition for beer in the United States in 1933. Did not know that. National Beer Day will be April the 7th. Of course, then you can follow that April 8th with draw a picture of a bird day. A day that encourages people of all skill levels to sketch out a bird. Okay. Oh, let's do one more here. It's April the 10th. This day is really catching on due to social media. It's National Siblings Day. It's becoming more and more popular because of you take a picture of your brother and sister and you post it on the internet on all social channels. And then finally on April 10th is also National Erase Self-Negativity Day. So, erase self-negativity. So it focuses on mental wellness and positive self-talk. Okay. So that's your second cup today. A little lighthearted look at some of the obscure holidays that are taking place between April 4th and April 10th. Thank you so much for listening to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast presented by the Nashville Post Office Credit Union. Please share this with all your friends, all your EAS friends, all your NAPS friends. Let's get this podcast going. I really do appreciate you listening. And remember, every great weekend starts with a great cup of Joe. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Saturday Cup of Joe podcast. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of Robert Wakefield and do not necessarily reflect the views of the National Association of Postal Supervisors. We welcome your questions and comments, so send those to SaturdayCupofJoe@gmail.com.